Hi folks, in this video I will answer one key question for you. You ready? Question is, out of all the immigration programs available, especially the 26 business immigration programs that I mentioned in my episode 1 right here, why should anyone care for Ontario's Entrepreneurial Immigration Program? Who is it for? Who should apply to this program and who should stay away from it? If by the end of this video I can answer this one question for you, let's make a deal. You let me know in the comments and you'll give me a thumbs up. In doing so, I will also share the basic eligibility requirements for this program, the pros and cons, the step-by-step process, as well as the time and fee involved. And I'll also share the detailed criteria that you need to know before you apply for this program. I have a lot to share with you. That's why this will be a 3-part series dedicated to Ontario's immigration program. If you're watching this video for the first time, hi, my name is Rashid Ali. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant from Canada, and through this channel I share videos on Canadian immigration through my knowledge, experience and research, so you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to get this information from inauthentic sources. I share new videos every week, and this video is episode 5 of my business immigration series. So to stay updated, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon so you don't miss any video. Let's begin. Let me tell you a story of a very inspirational Canadian immigrant. Khan was born almost 45 years ago in a rural town of Punjab. He belonged to a poor family, but his parents worked hard to make sure he got good education. Khan ended up getting a bachelor's in electrical engineering. He eventually got good jobs and moved up the career ladder to become the head of engineering in a large multinational company in the Middle East. He faced some challenges along the way. He wasn't as fluent in English as some of his colleagues, didn't have a fancy MBA degree, but he worked tirelessly so his kids could have a world-class education. And their schooling was very good in international school in UAE. By his 45th birthday, he had managed to have decent savings. Life was very good for him and his family. Unfortunately, he lost his job due to downsizing in the Middle East, lost his visa and was asked to go back to Punjab. He uprooted his whole life, and within days, the family packed up everything to arrive back home, or at least what he used to call home. It wasn't truly a home for his kids who had lived most of their lives in the Middle East. That's when he started thinking of going to a country which he could call his home forever, where he wouldn't have a status only as long as he had a job, where he could retire and enjoy playing with his grandkids. He also wanted to be around family and friends who had a culture similar to his. Also, his kids were reaching the age of university, so he decided to come to Canada. He had always considered moving to Canada before. It took him 20 years to finally make this decision, but the ship had sailed by now. He had seen young people apply for express entry, but this program was not suitable for Khan. The challenge was his age and his language skills. Canada wanted relatively younger professionals who were proficient in English or French, whereas his English skills were low and he was 45 years old. So after having a detailed discussion with a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, he chose Ontario's Entrepreneurial Immigration Program as the language requirements were less stringent. So he started his journey and landed in Canada a year later. He set up a business, created jobs for Canadians, worked hard, and finally got his PR after 3 more years. During all this time, his kids went to school for free, while his eldest daughter enrolled in the University of Toronto. So he was very happy that his family was with him in Canada from day one and were thriving. He expanded his business to eventually become one of the Canadian millionaires. Now, why am I telling you this story? If you're someone like Khan who has had a good career, whether that's a senior management position or whether you are a business person, but you lag a few things. Maybe you're not 29 anymore. Maybe you're in your early 40s, in your late 40s, late 30s, but you have the investment, you have the net worth, but your language skills, they aren't very good at this point of time. This program could be a very good option for you because unlike other programs, especially like Express Entry, Ontario's immigration program doesn't pay a lot of emphasis on your language skills. Similarly, if you're someone who's had a very successful business career, but you just couldn't have that education, you don't have any post-secondary education, this program again can be a very good option for you because there is no requirement for having a post-secondary education for this particular program. So let's talk about the requirements of Ontario's Entrepreneur Immigration Program. First of all, you need to have at least 2 years of relevant experience as a senior manager or as a business owner. As a business owner, you must have had at least 1/3 equity on your business. As a senior manager, you should have had decision-making authority in your position. So I'm not only talking about CEOs, I'm also referring to vice presidents and very senior managers in different departments like HR, finance, marketing, sales, production, manufacturing, legal. It can be different roles, but as long as you were a senior manager, you can qualify for this particular program. Now, net worth and the amount you're willing to invest, these are two critical things for this program, and they depend on where you want to do your business within Ontario, whether it's within GTA, the Greater Toronto area, or if it's outside GTA. First of all, let me define GTA for you because there's a lot of confusion around GTA, right? So GTA includes the city of Toronto and 4 municipalities. The municipalities include Peel, Halton, Durham, and York. So within the city of Toronto and these 4 municipalities, you have 25 cities and towns that are listed here. So all of these cities and towns, these 25 cities and towns, are part of GTA. So we're talking about an area of almost 7,000 square kilometers only within GTA. We're talking about a population of 6 million people. 1 in every 6 Canadians lives in GTA. And this area within the GTA is pretty well connected in terms of public transport. So if you want to start your business within GTA, you'll need to have a higher net worth and invest more. So let's talk about net worth. If you want to start your business within GTA, you'll need to have a minimum net worth of 800,000 Canadian dollars. If you want to start your business outside of GTA, or if it's related to information and communications technology or a digital technology related business, your net worth has to be at least 400,000. So it's half of that amount. Even within GTA, if you're doing an ICT related business, your net worth reduces to half. That requirement reduces to half. Now let's talk about investment. If you want to start a business within GTA, you need to invest at least 600,000 Canadian dollars. But if it is outside of GTA, or if it's a digital business, ICT related business, you need to invest only 200,000 Canadian dollars. Also, if you're not starting a new business, rather you're purchasing an existing business, you need to have made at least 1 exploratory visit within the 1 year before lodging your application. So that visit is mandatory if you're purchasing an existing business. So all of these requirements were for the work permit stage. When it comes to PR, permanent residence, there are some additional requirements. First of all, obviously you need to meet the conditions of your business agreement. You need to have lived in Ontario for at least 75% of the time while actively managing your business. You also need to have a language score of at least CLB4 in IELTS, CELPIP, or French language exam. CLB4 means 4 in writing and speaking. It means 4.5 in listening and 3.5 in reading. Similarly, for CELPIP, it means 4 in all parts of the CELPIP exam. Also, you need to have met the requirements of your performance agreement within the first 20 months of coming to Ontario. We'll get into more details of that in a minute. Now, if you want to apply for this program with a business partner, who is not a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, someone who also wants to immigrate with you, they also need to fulfill all of these requirements. They also need to have the same minimum net worth, minimum investment, same language score, threshold requirements, and they also need to make an exploratory visit to Canada if they're buying an existing business. All of those requirements will double. The investment and all of those things won't reduce in half, they will actually double if you're doing this with a business partner. So as you can see, if your English skills aren't very advanced, this program could be a very good option for you because the minimum required is just CLB4. Now I want to dig deeper. Why Ontario? Provinces have similar language requirements, but why would anyone still choose Ontario? Some of the things that are very special about Ontario is it's a very densely populated province, especially within GTA. You have lots of businesses, lots of customers. You have a lot of diversity in terms of there are people from different parts of the world living here. You have world-class education for your kids because of different universities and colleges. The climate is very good, maybe not as good as British Columbia, but still it's pretty good. But in terms of business, there are few sectors which are really ideal for Ontario. For example, aerospace, automotive, clean tech, chemical and biochemical, financial services, food and beverage manufacturing, forestry, industrial automation and robotics, information technology, life sciences, mining and tourism. These 12 sectors are target sectors for Ontario. The government of Ontario really wants to encourage immigrants to start businesses in these 12 sectors. In addition, agriculture is also an important part of Ontario. There are almost 52,000 farms in Ontario, which make up 1/4 of all of Canada's agricultural revenue. Now let me share some interesting facts with you about Ontario. Ontario is Canada's second largest province by area, which is almost 1 million square kilometers, an area larger than France and Spain combined. The east to west distance in Ontario is almost 1,568 kilometers. The north to south distance in Ontario is almost 1,691 kilometers, and the highest point is almost 693 meters. There are 2 time zones in Ontario. 66% or 70 million hectares of Ontario's land is classified as forest land. So I just wanted to share some facts about this beautiful province of Ontario. I also live in Ontario, and overall location is very important obviously for business. You want to start your business where you have access to customers, suppliers, and you can set yourself up for success. There's another way to look at it as well, that you don't want to go in a place which is already very saturated, but overall Ontario is very suitable for these 12 sectors that I mentioned earlier. So in the end of this video, I'll just like to talk about the pros and cons of Ontario's immigration program. The pro is that the language requirements aren't very high. You can score CLB4 and still get PR through this program. If you don't have post-secondary education, that's not a problem. As long as you can compensate with other factors, you should be good to go. The cons: since this is a provincial program, their policies can change from time to time. They've been changing their minimum investment requirements and minimum net worth requirements over the years. Similarly, the number of invites can change from one time to another. The scoring criteria can change. So it's a bit unpredictable compared to some of the federal programs like Express Entry. Also, the time to get the PR is relatively slower compared to Express Entry or other programs which are linked with Express Entry. For example, owner-operator based work permit or intra-company transfer. When you go through the route of Express Entry via those programs, you can get your PR much more quicker. Whereas in this program, it can take you overall around 3 to 4 years very easily to get your PR. But if time is not an issue for you, you just want to come to Canada, start working on your business, bring your family with you, this is definitely an option for you, because even while you're here on a work permit, your family can still join you. Your kids can get their education. If they're studying in high school, they can get free education. If your spouse or partner can also get an open work permit if they want to work in Canada. So you can start your life. The PR process is just slower compared to some of the other programs. But every program has some trade-offs, and the processing time is one of the trade-offs for this program. Since there's a lot more to share with you about Ontario's Entrepreneur Immigration Program, there are 2 more parts to this video. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon to turn on the notification so you will get notified as soon as I upload a new video. The next video will be about the step-by-step process of applying for this program, the processing times, the fee involved, and the video after that, the third part, will be about the detailed scoring criteria for this program. So you can be pretty confident before applying that you will actually be successful. Because for this program, there can be a lot of competition. You might be competing with hundreds of applicants. You want to be sure before you get into this. Also, if you're someone who believes that you might be eligible for this program and you need professional help from an RCIC, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant such as myself, to prepare and submit your application, you can click on the assessment form in the description to share your information with me. Also, if you're someone who wants to stay in touch, you can join my mailing list. I'll send emails once a month, maybe slightly more than that, but that'll be a way for us to stay in touch together as a community. So stay tuned. I'll see you in part 2. Thank you very much. Take care.